for writing task 2, academic. Now I'm going to share the screen because I'm using a PowerPoint, and at any time stop me. If you want to ask a question, just ask. It's quite okay. All right. There is. I can't believe it's gone away when I was just looking at it. Isn't that funny, eh? You just look at something and then you come on. Is it a PowerPoint? No, it's not. Oh, well, maybe it was, but I don't think it's this one.
Actually, I'm sorry. There is some technical glitches. Sometimes it's audible and sometimes it's not. As I told you, raining outside like cat and dogs. So
Yeah. Yeah, look, if you want to leave at any time because you can't hear, it's fine. Don't worry about that. Okay, let me just open up the PowerPoint. I hate it. I'm looking at it and then it just disappears. Oh, shit. Where did you go? Well, I'm glad this didn't happen to me this morning, Vivian.
Yes.
I'm glad this didn't happen to me this morning with my class.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like this at all when I had it all ready and then I come here and it's not there anymore. All right, so let me just see. I'm going to share my screen again. It's just not coming up. Basic. Ah, here it is. It was in another part. Okay, guys. So this is the writing IELTS task 2. It was, I don't know if you all got the Cambridge 16 book that came out about a fortnight ago, but this task was in it. So I decided to use it. All right. So does someone want to read the topic or you just want to hear my voice all the time?
I'll volunteer.
Let
me go ahead and read that.
Thank you.
In the future, all cars, buses, and trucks will be driverless. The only people traveling inside these vehicles will be passengers. Do you think the advantages of driverless vehicles outweigh the disadvantages?
All right. Now I realize that every IELTS trainer does things different. I know that working with my group of 17 and what Nixon's in that group, you know, some do 2 paragraphs, some do 3. I am simplicity 100%. If I can get the same goal with only doing 2 paragraphs, which of course doesn't include the conclusion or the introduction, I'll do it. If I can get the same goal or the same band as someone doing 5 paragraphs, which of course include the introduction, 3 paragraphs, and then a conclusion, then I will only do the simple way. The reason being, it's got to be simple for the students. So this is the topic. Oh, sorry, guys. And now what we do is, this is the first step. It's called a 5-step strategy. Okay, this is a 5-step. The first step, analyze the question. What is it telling you in your own words? Have students each analyze the question in the class. Why? Because it's a good way of knowing if they understand the concept of the topic or not. Because sometimes you can allow the students time to think about what the topic's saying. And then when they give you their feedback, they've actually missed the mark. So it's important that you hear what they think it's saying. And then the second point says, steer them on the right path so that they fully understand what it is saying. Why? Because without your guidance, they will write what they think is correct. That should be is, sorry. So this is important because, as you know, the task achievement has different criteria and different stages. So 25% is the first stage for addresses all parts of the topic, task achievement. So the highest they can get is a 25%. So you want them to get the highest that they can, and they do this by firstly, and there's one of 5 steps, analyzing the topic. All right, so find out if they agree or disagree. So that's another thing, okay? Refer to the criteria, address all parts of the task. Right, now this is step 2. So that was step 1, you analyze. Step 2, underline the key words. Okay, so that's quite straightforward. Oh, Swathi disappeared and I'm just letting her in again. So step 2 says, underline the key words. Now, these are the key words. I've already underlined them. So I underlined in the future because when we're writing, we have to use the right tense. We can't use the tense of nowadays. We have to use the tense of the future. So it's important to get the right tenses in their place. Many students make the mistake of saying nowadays. Well, in the future is not nowadays. Okay, so we have to get the right one. Then I've got cars, buses, and trucks. Now, we can't lump all of them under the same heading like vehicles because they're not. We know cars are different, buses and trucks. So we need to have these underlined topics because the next thing is to make a synonym list, but we'll stick with step 2. So we underline the key topics, cars, buses, trucks, and driverless. Of course, driverless is going to be a word we're having to use in our 250 word essay. And we don't want to use driverless, driverless, driverless. Okay, now I actually underlined only. Now the reason only is important is because it's talking about a specific number. So if we try to include all people, it's not right. Okay, so only is for a specific number of people, and it says traveling inside. So we need to have synonyms for traveling inside, vehicles again, passengers. So these are the key words that I've underlined. Now, I'll tell you what the next one is. This is step 3. Make a synonym list. Now, of course, the synonym list, oh, who's left me a chat? Oh, poor Swathi. It's her network. Okay, sorry. All right, so we're going to make, I always tell my students, you're going to need 3 synonyms for every key topic. Now they'll get used to underlining whatever topic they see, they'll get used to underlining the key ones. They'll look for words like only, because a lot of IELTS topics use some. Some people say. Now what students do is they don't underline some, and then when they go to write, they're saying a large number, a few, a majority. Of course, they've got that wrong. It has to be the right quantity. Now, that's something that is looked at when you're marking a paper. As an examiner, you look at it, and if it says only and they've got a majority, then of course that's going to be an error against their name. Right, so here's the synonym list. In the future, so we've got in the hereafter, from this day forth, and in time to come. So those are all talking about the future, what will be happening. Now, I didn't think I said it, but I always tell my students 3 synonyms each. So when you're writing, you're using a variety of vocabulary words because you want that top mark that says uses a range of vocabulary. Which in band 8, it says under lexical resource, uses a wide range of vocabulary. So this is why I choose 3. Now, task achievement for a band 8 sufficiently addresses all parts of the task. So that's why firstly we do analysing, and then we do the synonym list, and then we'll carry on from there. Oh, sorry, just reading from other trainers. There's one going to be 10 minutes late. All right, so we've got cars, automobiles, wheels, and motor cars. And then buses, coaches, omnibus, landliner, trucks, heavy duty vehicles or heavy vehicle lorry. So you've got about 3 different lots of synonyms for what you're going to use in your essay. Driverless, no driver. Automated, unconfined, automatic. So these are synonyms for the driver, for the non-driver. Only, now this is only what I was saying. You've got just, only just. So just is equivalent to only. Limited, specific, categorized, solely. So when you say, and so these driverless cars are solely for the, it's the same as saying are only for the. So synonyms are so important. People, humans, others, communities, passengers, travelers, commuter, and a rider. Any questions for now from both of you? Okay, we'll go to the next one. So this is step 3. Yes, why didn't I put my marks on it? Okay, so we've made this, what? Andrew?
Hello.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I am very excited to see about the synonym list regarding the questions and taking words from it. So my question is that when a student is very weak or find it difficult to arrange sentences, how can we make them clear about organizing these kind of words into a sentence? How can we help them to such kind of students?
Are you talking
Hello?
about, Yeah, I can hear you. Are you talking about making a synonym?
Yeah.
Well, you know, initially, because
Yeah.
it's foreign to them, okay? If I got a student tomorrow and I
Yeah.
said, make a synonym list, they'll be like, what? You know, and so everything has a beginning. And so I never put the timer on because they need that time to get familiar. So I let them use their online
Yes.
dictionary. I let them use whatever means that they need to find a synonym for, like, driverless. Now, why it's important to allow them time to find it is because they're going to do this every time they get a topic. And you're going to find they're going to get faster and faster and faster. So if they ever get another topic different that says only, they're going to go, oh, just specific. You see, this is how you retain vocabulary. Now, initially, this plan took 8 minutes, 8 minutes for them to get used to it. Now, when they take this plan into the exam, it takes them 4 minutes, 3 minutes, because they've got so much vocabulary. They're so used to making a synonym list. So it is, it's like step by step by step by step. They will get.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
No, you're quite welcome. Now the next one is, okay, this is step 3. Now what we've just done, we've got our synonym list. We're going to paraphrase the topic using the synonym list. Now, I did try to have everything not filled out for the teachers, but I found that the time was going. It got very long. And so I thought, well, I'm just going to put everything in. If you want a copy of the PowerPoint, you can have a copy. Okay, so it's not a long night. So paraphrase the topic using the synonym list. So you go back to the synonym list and it's got in the future. So we need to change in the future. All right, and I changed, so in here I've got in the coming years, every vehicle such as sedans, coaches, and lorries will be automated. This means that riding will be solely for commuters. Now, what that does, this has to equal what the actual topic was. And so when you paraphrase, I'll just have a drink while someone's coming in. So when you paraphrase, hi. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Tima.
How are you? Finally, I can join your session.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, Tima. So where are you calling from?
I'm from Iran.
Oh, Iran.
Yeah.
Okay, I had Ellie last time from Iran.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's my friend.
Yeah, where is she today?
I don't know.
Never mind. All right, Tima. Well, we're actually up to step 3. All right, so I hope you can carry on with this, that you can follow with us. We had the topic, underlined the keywords, made a synonym list, and now we're going to paraphrase the topic using the synonym list. And Tima, just quickly, this is our synonym list. I take 3 words from each of the topic words, all right? And I have three. I get the students to do 3. Then they have a lot of words to use when they're writing, and they're not repeating the writing because repetition does not go down well in exams. All right, yeah, so we've paraphrased the topic. And the next one, of course, it was an agree or disagree. So this one is totally disagree. So I totally disagree with the statement that the advantages will outweigh the disadvantages because there is already enough evidential facts that these cars are a menace to society. And many people have either been maimed or outright killed. So that's the reason why I disagree. And when I start writing, it's going to be similar to what I've just mentioned in my disagreement statement. Okay, and then now we're going to plan step 4. Now, step 4, we plan paragraph 1. So we've got it here. Do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages? Now, this is the advantages, okay? So we've got paragraph 1, sentence 1. Now, sentence 1 should always be a simple sentence. It's well, it's simple. It's an overview of what you're going to say in sentence 2, sentence 3, and sentence 4. So all I have for paragraph 1 is sentence 1, which is the overview of what I'm going to talk about in sentence 2 and sentence 3 and sentence 4. That's all the sentences. It's very, it's not a lot of, how am I going to do it? You're just going to keep that strategy the whole way through. Now, sentence 1, simple sentence overview. For example, some members of the community see the advantages of this new technology. Now, these are the advantages that outweigh the disadvantages. Now, this is an overview, meaning that out of this sentence, first sentence, out of this simple sentence, I am going to make my next sentence 2 and 3 and 4. Now, what are the advantages? Some members of the community see the advantages. Well, sentence 2, I've put like bullet points, affordable means to get around compared to petrol. So that's 1 for sentence 2. The third one for sentence 3, harnesses natural energy that doesn't affect the environment. Now, these are not actual sentences. They're just my bullet point kind of sentences that when I do my P1 plan and my P2 plan, it's very important to do a plan because you want cohesion, coherence and cohesion. And coherence and cohesion is based on how you set out your paragraphs and how you go from an overview to the next sentence, to the next sentence, to the next sentence with an example. That is a clear sequences information and ideas logically. Now that's at a band 8. Now, did someone come in? Oh, Sinjo Jolly. Hi, Sinjo Jolly.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. And where are you calling from, Sinjo?
Dubai. Dubai, UAE.
Okay. Well, that's great. Are you part of Nixon's team?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Well, nice to have you here.
Thank you so much.
So, Sinjo, we're up to step 4 about how to, oh, hang on one more, it's Samir. Yeah, but anyway, because I'm going to keep going because you'll be able to catch up with it.
Sure. Sure.
Okay. Oh, there I am. Sanju, I'll just click on Samir. Hi. I
Hi,
can't hear you.
Maria.
Oh, I can hear you.
Yeah.
How are
I
you?
just had a session. That's the reason. So I just finished off with my session and I've come right now.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's nice. Anyway, there's about 4 people here, so they can hear you. Anyway,
Okay.
Samir, we're up to planning P1. Now, this is about the driverless cars, all right?
Okay.
Yeah, and I've taken it to a band 8. Now, why we do this type of plan is, as I said, we want coherence and cohesion. So it sequences information and ideas logically, and it manages all aspects of cohesion well. So we know it's talking about connectives. The way that we write, it's going to depend on how well we use those connectives. And then it says uses paragraphing sufficiently and appropriately. All right. So these are what I said. We've got the advantages. We've got the overview. We've got sentence 2 that goes back to the overview, and it takes some part of it, which is affordability. And then sentence 3 takes another advantage, which is harnesses natural energy. And then sentence 4 is a percentage and a country. Now stop me at any time if you have a question. But I always have sentence 1 overview, sentence 2 and 3 broken down from out of the overview, and sentence 4 a percentage and a country. And I tell you why I have a percentage and a country. It's because it's like you're giving all this information. So there's this and there's this and there's this. When you come to the end, you can say, in Japan, for example. So you're summing up your last 2 sentences with an example. So you can say, in Japan, for example, research has shown that 80% of its people are commuters of driverless cars, and it's been a great success. Now that is actually just supporting what you've just said in sentence 3 and sentence 2 and the overview from sentence 1. Now, the examiners do not care. Now, is this true? Do 85% of the Japanese people think that? Not at all. What they will see is that it's backed up by evidence. Everything you've just said is backed up by evidence in sentence 4. Right, so we've planned P1. Now we're going to write P1 from out of these points. Right. So I'll just try to move this along. I have to move us. Oh, you can see. Okay, so this is writing P1. Now, of course, you're not going to have P1, S1 here, sentence 2, sentence 3, and sentence 4, but this is only to help you or to help the students to get everything in their right categories. You know, because sometimes when students write, if there's no system for them, then they write all over the place. They might write about this and that, and then they lose marks because there's no coherence and cohesion. Firstly, things don't glue together. And of course, their task achievement, we want to get a band 8. So the key is to sufficiently address all parts of the task. And how do we do that? By presenting a well-developed response to the question with relevant, extended, and supported ideas. Now, this is relevant, and then they're extended, and then they're supported. Now, the support comes from sentence 4. All right, now we'll read P1, the overview. Okay, this is the overview for P1. Riding an automated vehicle. Now, this is a disadvantage. Okay, as you can see, this is a disadvantage of it. Riding, oh yes, because you know why. Sometimes I have to remind myself, because let me just go back here. I remember. Oops. Okay, well, I can't remember, but somewhere in there I did the disadvantage, didn't I? So this is a disadvantage here. So I totally disagree with the statement. All right, so that has become P1. Whatever the student disagrees with is the first paragraph. You don't say, I totally disagree with the statement, and then on the first paragraph, you write about those that agree. It doesn't work like that. It's not task achievement. It's not coherence and cohesion. It's not sticking together like glue. All right, so quickly for P1, you've got your overview. Riding an automated vehicle is a high risk for some parts of society. And for those that came late, the overview should be a simple sentence. A simple sentence just gives the overview of what you're going to write for sentence 2 and for sentence 3. It's only for 2 sentences. All right, I'll quickly read sentence 2. This means that some will not be able to react in time to danger. Like, for instance, there was a documentary on television that was explaining what can happen using these types of transport without a driver at the wheel. It showed a person sitting in the back of the vehicle reading a newspaper. However, unbeknown to him, he was at risk of losing his life. The sensory car did not detect a train track. Oh, someone went out. The sensory car, what is that noise, by the way? Anyway, the sensory car did not detect a train track, so therefore it went head on with the train and the person was killed outright. Okay, so that is giving a example, as you would say, for sentence 1. Now, sentence 3, it says, another drawback is the lack of charging stations for electric cars. It has been found that cars have run out of battery in the middle of the highway, which has caused severe problems for not only the passenger on board, but also other road users. For example, there was a passenger whose driverless car ran out of battery charge in Dubai. Unfortunately, it caused a pileup on the highway, which resulted in a loss of life and serious injuries to others. So these are the disadvantages of why it's a high risk for some parts of society. And I just want to say sentence 2 was actually true. I was watching it. It was about 6 years ago. I was watching this documentary of this British man, and he had designed these cars. I was just amazed watching him, and he's got the newspaper, his car's driving, he's sitting in the back, he's talking all the time about, he had the crew as well. They were behind him, but pretty much he had a mic, you could hear him. I was like blown away until it came to a railway, then the car didn't stop and it killed him outright, the train, and it was all on camera. And I was like, oh my God, did I just watch this man getting killed? And I had. So that was actually a true one. Hi, Angel Rose. How are you? All right.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you.
Angel Rose. Oh, that's
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Angel Rose. Where are you calling
Yeah.
from?
Yeah, I was
Hi,
just trying to understand.
Sorry?
I'm
Hello,
calling from
ma'am.
Dubai.
Oh, Dubai.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
I'm so
All right.
sorry for joining late because I was at work and I just now reached.
Look, it's okay. We've only got near the end of P1 and P2 is identical to P1. That's why I love the simplicity of writing these. So anyway, so I just read sentence 3. Now, of course, sentence 4 is a summary. It just backs up or supports what we've just read. And that is where it says, presents a well-developed response to the question with relevant. So we've had relevant, we've extended the conversation, the writing, and it says, and supported. So our S4 is supporting it. And this is what it says. It has been reported that 80% of automatic car users in China have had accidents of some sort that have been life-threatening over a 2-year period. All right, so that's kind of the, what you call it, the icing on the cake after what we've just read. Yeah, and that's all that needs to be. That is it in a nutshell. That is how to do P1. The longest time is taken in the preparation. Once you've got the preparation all done, it's so easy to write. It's like you don't even have to be thinking because, well, you do, but I tell you why, because you've got your you've got what you're going to write about. Everything is in your hands. I'll just try to find it. That's a synonym list. Okay, well, I won't try because, here. So this is how we plan P1. We do the overview for those who came late, and then we talk about some points. We've got affordability for petrol, natural energy, and a percentage in a country. And that's it in a nutshell. Okay, now we're going to plan P2. So for P2, of course, you've got your overview. And we know that the overview is sentence 1, because I tell you why, and I've said this before, but I'll just reiterate because it's so important. Whatever you're going to write about, your sentence 1 should be giving an overview of it. And then your sentence 2 can draw from that and take one example and write about it. And then your sentence 3 can take from it. And then your 4, well, of course, it's just a country and a percentage. All right, so you've got S1. These are the advantages of using this new technology. Now, okay, the advantages of using this new technology. That's the overview. Sentence 2 will talk about, which is coming from this, we'll talk about affordability of commuters, labor costs, cheaper fares, electric energy. So in sentence 2, we're going to be using some of those points. Sentence 3, it's, this is electric energy. This one is natural energy, great for the environment. And of course, you can pick any country, any percentage. I chose Korea, and I said 65% of their society has shown an interest in these automatic vehicles. Moreover, in Japan, 15%. So that is just supporting what we've just said in sentence 2 and 3. Okay, so now we're going to write P2. Of course, we have to have, on the other hand, because we can't have in addition, because you know in addition means it's on the same side. So on the other hand, which is contrary to what has been said, or on the other hand, and you don't have to have that. You can actually leave, you're leaving a space between the two paragraphs. So you leave a space and then you'll have on the other hand, comma, and then you'll get into the writing. So here's sentence 1. Some members of the community see the advantages of using this new technology. Now, I just want to say, when I said advantages of using this new technology, it needs to be put into a sentence. And for those that came late, the sentence needs to be a simple sentence, because the simple sentence for paragraph 1, sentence 1, paragraph 2, sentence 1, is always an overview of what you're going to talk about in sentence 2 and sentence 3. All right. So really, it's quite easy, isn't it? That you only have to do an overview of sentence 1, and then sentence 2, you have to pick something, take something from sentence 1 for sentence 2, and then you're going to take again something from sentence 1 for sentence 3, and then you've got your country and percentage, and that is it. It's just really not too difficult, and the students find it very easy. And when I do this method with my students, they get 7.5s. I haven't had anyone at an 8. I don't. Oh, no, I did. I had a German lady. But other than that, the majority get 7.5s in their writing. And this is because they're learning a simple technique. All right, so here's paragraph 2. On the other hand, now my overview, some members of the community see the advantages of using new technology. So you have to pick that apart and you have to think, well, what's an advantage? Okay, I'm going to use affordable gas, I think. So sentence 2, it promises affordable means of transport for the commuters. So therefore, cutting out labor costs equates to cheaper fares. In addition, these automatic cars are powered by electric energy generated from sustainable resources, which costs less than the use of traditional oil and gas. So that's the advantage of what this new technology would do for the community. Now, if you remember me talking about cohesion and coherence, one of the things for band 8, it says, manages all aspects of cohesion well. So that is talking about putting together very good connectives. So like in addition, and I'm sure all your students do it, so you've got in addition, so therefore, using these types of language. Don't overdo it. You can overdo it and have too many. So just have enough for it to be fluent with cohesion and coherence. Okay, please stop me for any question.
Hello,
Oh.
ma'am.
Yeah. Hi, Anju.
Yeah, hi, ma'am. Actually, here it's raining like anything. Thunder and lightning is going on. But still, I am so excited to know about the things that you are explaining. So I am sitting in a dark room actually because there are so many insects outside. Anyway, my question to you is that while we are doing planning for an essay, as you have wonderfully explained about elaborating the ideas and giving the overview in the beginning with simple sentences, it's really beautiful because students are mostly crazy about giving decorative languages, which spoils the beauty of the paragraph. So my question is that when we write a paragraph, so if a student is a beginner or an intermediate level, should he requires to spend more than 10 or 15 or 20 minutes for planning when he is learning IELTS essay writing?
All right, for this plan, initially it takes the students about 8 minutes. And then it will take them 20 minutes to write. So
Okay.
what happens, when I say to them, you're going to write this plan in the exam, they're like, no. But you see, as they get used to it, it goes down to 4 minutes. Some can even do it in 3. And then when they get to the exam, they will write out this very short plan. They know they need to do a synonym list, underline the keywords, make their synonym list. And if you're always getting them to practice 3 synonyms, it becomes so easy for them. They end up with a bank of vocabulary in their minds. So initially they might have a thing, but as they go, they see how beneficial it is.
Okay.
And you know, it's not.
Yes, ma'am.
No, you carry on.
Yeah. So through constant practice, we can shorten up the time and then we can focus that, yes, now he can do within 10 minutes and 15 minutes, he can do planning, or she can do
Yeah.
planning.
I tell you
Like,
what, you need to do. I don't believe in
Yeah.
showing a plan and then saying to the student, now go and do it. It doesn't work
Yeah.
like that. You have to be with them at least 3 times, step by step by step.
Okay.
So you give them different topics, you work it out together, they become confident. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Thank you, ma'am.
if a student is wavering, it's they're not getting that training they should be getting. If they're making constant mistakes, they should have their teacher by their side, helping them. Okay. All right, Vivian, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Maria. I have to leave now, and bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
I all said.
Yeah,
Thanks
bye.
for coming. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, Vivian, I'll send you the recording if you like. Oh, I'll send it to
I
everyone.
think she already left.
So, Samia, she's the one. You know how I said I started work with Vietnam today? 3 hours on a
No.
Saturday? Yeah.
Okay.
You're not reading your letter. I sent you that. Well, she's the one. She's the one that employed me.
Ah, wow.
She's
You know,
from,
there are many new candidates over there in our today's session, and like every name looks new to me. Just because I came late, so I do not really don't like know like where they are from. What like are they the all IELTS trainers?
yeah. Well, Vivian actually is oh, that's it. Vivian is actually, she does the recruiting. So she
Okay.
recruited me for 3 hours speaking in Vietnam. So I had
Wow.
class with her today. And then she said to me after, can you teach me? I said, well, come to the writing. I'm not doing individual teaching.
Nice, nice.
All right. So we're on
Okay, let's continue.
Okay, so we're on P2. Okay, so what did I say? Sentence 2. It promises, I think I read it. Yeah, I did. I read P2. P3, it says also, since these automatic cars utilize natural energy, they do not harm our environment compared with our current modes of transportation. And then sentence 4 is just it's like using a country and a percentage. And it says, in fact, in Korea, 65% of their society has shown an interest in these automatic vehicles. Moreover, in Japan, 15% are already using the automatic cars as they find it very convenient to get around. They are anticipating that the rest of the population will follow this trend in the next 3 years. So that is your P2. Again, you've only got 4 sentences. Sentence 1, overview. Sentence 2 and 3 are taken as part of the overview. And sentence 4 is just a country and a percentage. So it can't get easier than that to write a Band 8 essay. It's just a matter of sequencing and putting everything into their category. Now, the final one is the conclusion. Now, people have different ideas about conclusions. Some say to me, well, we need to add some new material. Well, you don't actually, but you can. You see, if it's part of being okay and you want to add new material, because you want to think more, then do it. But I don't want to think more. I just want to add the old material. So Mia knows I'm very lazy, yeah? If I don't have to do it, I won't do it.
If you remember it, I did say that in previous sessions that I used to make them write a suggestion with that, because I've been following a particular trainer who did say that you'd write 2 sentences in conclusion, and that's like the first sentence is concluding the whole thing, which is obviously mini paraphrase of your viewpoint, and then the second sentence is a suggestion. And I've been following that, but recently I did change that. I did change that. There isn't any really need of that new thing. I learned that from you.
Yeah. I mean, if arts tell me you have to do it, I'll do it. But if I don't have to, I'm not going to, because I don't want to do more than I have to. And I don't want the students to do more than they have to. If the teacher said, okay, if you write 500 essay, you're going to get a band 8. If you write 100 word essay, you're going to get a band 8. What one are you going to take? Of course, I'm going to take the 100 word essay. Who takes the 500 or the 200? You know, like, why do more than we have to? Yeah, so I just kind of copy and paste from my topic, and then I paste it on the conclusion. I teach the students to play around with paraphrasing, and that's your conclusion. So the conclusion says, in the not too distant future, we can expect to see passengers enjoying their mobility journey with no driver at the helm. This should not be here with driving, with no driver at the helm. This is a dangerous precedent that we will be setting for society in relation to injuries and deaths. So therefore, I totally oppose it. That's the conclusion, and it's still part of what part you took for it, and that's it. And yeah. Yeah, so any questions? Samir, do you know it's really raining hard in India? And I had, what was her name? Swatha, I think, Swatha. She had to go because the rain was falling so hard in India.
Yes. Even Anju said that, like, it's all raining and like thundering all over there, and she's sitting in the dark room to listen to this.
Oh my God. So is that normal in
Actually
India?
not safe with the laptop. So please be careful, okay?
Yeah. Okay, so just a quick overview. So you've got the topic, you've got the 5-step strategy to a Band-Aid. That's all it is. And the first one is analyzing the question. Get the students to analyze, tell you what they think. Now, don't treat students like young adults, because in the beginning, it's like a baby that learns that first you spoon feed it. And then they learn to hold the spoon themselves. And then they learn to put it into their mouth. So stay with them every step until they master it. So of course you tell them the 5-step strategy, and the first one is analyze the question. So you hear them, what they're saying. You don't say, no, that's wrong. You say, well, what about this? What do you think about this way? And you persuade them over to the other way of thinking, not by telling them they're wrong, but by giving an alternative. And they get to think about it. Well, what do you think about this? Maybe, do you think it's saying that? So always use open-ended questions. What do you think? could be saying that, do you think? So analysing the question, and then of course you've got underlining step 2, the keywords, and then you've got underlining the keywords, they're underlined, and then you've got make your synonym list. So underline the keywords with step 2. Make a synonym list is actually, I should have put it because I don't like it when I can't follow it. Step 3. And then you've got paraphrase the topic using the synonym list. Okay. And then paraphrase the topic. I think that's step 4. Yes, it is. Sorry. Step 4. And then you've got not this one. This is just what you think. This is your agree or disagree. And then you've got plan P1 and plan P2. And when you start this, this is step 5. Something like that, I think it is. I've got it right. Yeah, and then you write your paragraph. So you've got your little hints, so-called hints. And then you've got your P1. Then you've got your plan your paragraph 2. But I don't plan them separate. I will plan them like I'll teach them to plan P1 and 2. All right. Now, advantages. And they'll only give a bullet answer. So what's an advantage? They might say affordability of gasoline or using free energy. That's one. What's another one? Great for the environment. Great, that's another one. And you only need 2. See, that's a good thing. You only need 2 because your sentence 4 is about a country that you've made up and a percentage. So then you have P1 and P2. And when you've got your bullet points, then you start writing. And I tell you, the writing becomes a piece of cake because you've got it all well planned out. And that's it. Any questions?
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
Hi. Yes, my question. Yes, ma'am.
No, oh, sorry. I was going to say, hi. What were you going to say?
I was curious about one thing.
Yes.
But when you described about the sentence 2 and 3, I got to know something. I don't know whether I understood clearly or not. Regarding this, when we are explaining the sentence 2 in body paragraph after introduction, so do we require to write more than one example to prove our evidence or to prove our point? Can we write more than 2 examples in one paragraph?
Yeah, you can. You actually can, like I do. I do the simplest way. Some people write 3, some people write 4. But I've found, I say to my students, if you can get 100 words out of this, that's yours, that's your 100. P2 will be another 100. And you've got your topic and your intro and your conclusion. But yeah, and then I find if we're short, I tell them just add another one. But you're right. You're right. You can add, you can have P1 overview, you know, S1, then you have S2 and S3 as examples, and then S4 as another one if you need to. And then S5 becomes the, yeah. And it's all dependent on how many words you write per sentence.
Hmm. Hello, sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, I'm counting quietly. Sorry, I wasn't talking. I just tell you what sentence 3, how many words? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. That's 50. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. See, I probably wouldn't go to an extra sentence because there's 50 just on sentence 3. And I'm always finding that with the students, we have to kind of cut down. I do try to get about 300. Like if I can get right on 250 with them, well, that's great. Or just below 300. But once I start going over 3, we look at cutting down. But yeah, like you're saying, if your sentences are shorter than this, by all means, yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah. So, so this is a requirement of 8 band. When we are talking about 7 band or when we are talking about 6 band, those students are basically writing the main reason. When they write the sentence, one they just write the overview, the idea of it, and they expand with the reasons, the effects, the possibilities of it with examples. But this is something new I came to know, that with the possibility and elaborating it. So that is, I think, the step of getting 8 bands.
Elaborating it. You're funny. The thing is that you always should have in front of you the writing band. So when you're aiming for, like if a student came to you and said, I need a 6, you teach them at a 7. Always teach them up a band. Never teach them at the band they need. Because then if they drop, they've dropped to what they need. All right. Now at a band 8, sufficiently addresses the part, the parts. Now sufficiently, what you have to realize with these bands is that they're in quantities. So like a band 6 says addresses all parts, although. So we know that kind of, that's a 6. A 7, it says addresses all parts of the task, throughout, where's that word? Addresses all parts of the task, presents a clear position throughout the response, presents, extends and supports main ideas. But there may be a tendency to overgeneralize, and or supporting ideas may lack focus. So you end up getting used to when the student's writing, are they at a 7 or are they at a 6? Because a band 8 is very clear. You sufficiently is like, if I had to put sufficiently into a percentage, I would put like 85%. 85%, between 85 and 90%, they've answered the task. All right. So sufficiently addresses all parts of the task and then presents a well-developed response with relevant, extended, and supported ideas. So everything you plan is according to what it's asking for. Relevant, okay, it's relevant. It's extended, yes, it's got extension, and it's supported. Of course, the S4 helps with the supported, but that's the key to where the band is at, by what quantity they're using. Yeah, okay, any other questions? Now, not next fortnight, because we have these every fortnight, and last time was Niha, wasn't it, Samir?
Yes, it
We
was
had
me.
Niha, And then this one, I did this one because everyone was busy. And the following fortnight is Davinda and myself. We're doing a speaking. And then the following fortnight is Samir. Woo! And what is
For
your
the
one,
listening.
Samir?
Listening. I was planning for the listening part. Like most tips and tricks on scoring better on a listening.
And
You know, Iram did talk to me today. It's also Iram Khan, and she was telling me that she would like to have a session on the reading part. So it's like I was thinking there's a new trainer coming in. Like we have been there all the time. So it's like if she's coming over there, maybe after Devinda, if she's still willing, I'm ready to give my session to her.
you have not
Because
had
I'm already there. I'm always there, so I will definitely take my session.
Samir, it's not about you're already there. You could have been here for 2 years, but not had anything.
What happened?
To give you. So, no, it's
Couldn't hear
okay.
you
Is
back.
this the one with Nixon? This the lady with Nixon? That you're telling me about?
No. It's not the lady with Nixon. I think she works here in Dubai. And I got to see her in our group. She introduced herself in our group. And later on, I did have a conversation with her recently. So that's when she said, like, she came to me texting me saying, like, she did see all the videos that we updated on GIT YouTube channel. And she was really amazed to see that you do have classes here and there. I said, yeah, we do have classes over there. So that's when she said she is an IELTS examiner as well. So she do want to contribute like whatever she can, but then she do have a schedule with her sessions. Is the reason she can't join. So even today when I was talking to me, she was saying the same thing. Like I have a busy with my company. Hello, Maria. Are you there? Hello.
It just.
You have muted yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
No, that's not me. That's Tima.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, and no, Nixon's got some lady. I think it was going to be Rita. I said to Nixon, it has to be, at a high band. Even that that lady, so she works in Dubai with you.
Not this one, I think. Iram Khan, I didn't really mention Nixon about her. I think she might be another lady. I'm sure it's another lady.
Oh, yeah. Well, just ask her to send me a message. Is she on Global IELTS Trainers as well?
I have no idea.
Oh.
Who added her? Is that Nixon who added her?
No, I don't know. Nixon has so many people. I lose track.
I'll check with Nixon. Maybe after the session, I'll check with Nixon.
Yeah, he's got another lady. She's oh no, I'm not allowed to say. Anyway, yeah, do that. And any of you guys that are trainers, if you want to take a platform on LinkedIn, then just let me know. The benchmark will be at a band 7.5 for any of the 4. That'll be really great. Yeah. All right. I'm sure you've all gone to sleep.
Please unmute
Hello.
yourself. Though
We haven't slept yet.
Any questions before we go?
Hello.
Hello.
Someone else who is speaking.
Not really, but something out of the context though. In writing, there are usually 2 examiners who check the paper, right? if I'm not
Yeah.
wrong. So does one examiner what score the other examiner has given?
Yeah.
So the scores don't overlap, or there are, because this is what I have heard, correct me if I'm wrong. So what I've heard is that if one examiner, let's say, gives a 6 and then another examiner gives a 7, so then it goes to the third examiner and that's the final score that's taken. Is that how it works?
I'm not sure about the third one. I do know that when the first one checks it and gives it a score, and then the second one does, if there's a variation, then they will come together and do it again and agree on, and if they can't agree, of course, they need a third one. Yeah.
Okay. And what happens if there's like a huge gap? Because again, this is what I've heard, that if there's a difference of 0.5, it can be tolerated, but then when there's a gap of band 1 or more than that, that's like a huge issue. Is that true?
No, well, I wouldn't know anyone. I wouldn't know any trainer that is one band different from whoever's marked it. Now, for example, where I work, there are 3 of us. One's Australian, one's British, and me from New Zealand. Now, when we do the students, we've pretty much got the same mark without knowing what each other's got. All right, so we pretty much have done the same, but never to be one band higher. That just wouldn't make much sense. I don't know why it would be like that. Maybe a 0.5 it's been, but never a band, a whole band. So I don't know. I wouldn't know about that. I must say there was one in Abu Dhabi who, he was Lebanese. He marked according to how the ladies looked. Very naughty.
Okay.
Very naughty. So, you know, you got all sorts. You got all kinds, and some are more committed to what they're doing than others. So maybe it does happen, but I think that's too far off. If you're talking about writing, because the criteria is very clear. You know, it doesn't take much to read even a paragraph and know what their band score is, let alone to read a whole a whole 250. Now, the reason being is that people write a lot in that one paragraph. You can see their vocab, they're not going to leave out, they're not going to leave out in that one paragraph their vocabulary. They will add it, but if they don't know it, they've left it out. So yeah, if people want a quick, you know, if they say, well, I really want a band 7, I say, send me a paragraph of your favorite food or anything. I don't really care what it is. You can tell from what they write, even if it's only 3 or 4 sentences, what band they're at. So it'll be a good thing for an examiner to be a whole band out, and they've got the whole essay and they've got the criteria in front of them. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I should definitely practice with this criteria in front of me to mark. You know, as you said, it comes with experience, like whole lot of experience, just to like understand with the one paragraph that what kind of band score this candidate might score. Like that's awesome. I can't even think about it. Like I'll definitely have to see the whole thing, what he wrote, and then give a suggestion on, okay, this can be the thing. Like can't really guess on a candidate with the only paragraph that he wrote.
That's actually true, because I have also come across the same kind of issue. I quite often get confused because there's something there and then there's something that's not there. And then I'm like stuck between 2 bands and I'm like, which one should I give? So this happens a lot with me.
I was recently discussing this with Maria. Like the trainers from whom I was I was learning stuff, they used to tell me that do not really give band scores. Do not give band scores. Instead, just correct them and tell them what they wrote was correct and what was wrong. Because giving band scores can even pull them down.
Yeah.
So it's like giving band scores are going to pull them down, and you are no one to give a band score for them because they might get a different band score in the real exam.
That's
So this
true.
was a practice that I kept on doing throughout my career. And recently, Maria says, like, do you give a band score? I was like, no. And then
It's
she's like, why?
it's actually really true. But then one thing I face here that makes me to do it is because the students sometimes are really demanding. So it's a pretty competitive environment here. I've actually not faced this issue when I was working in India, but after coming to Dubai, people are really very demanding that they argue with you. There's like a bargain when you don't give them a score. So they're like, what's the point? We want to know our score. You need to give us some score. So how do we know where we are? So at some point you are forced to give it, especially when you have something called a mock test scheme, and they come in for the mock test, and what they want to know is just the result. They just want to know what band. So no matter how much you explain to them that this is your mistake, this is where you have to improve, they just want to know the band.
I can relate.
Then just give it. What you give it according to the criteria. You know, you would say, okay, well, you got a band 6 because, and then you go through the band 6 of what they got. Everything has to come back to facts. It's not like you're giving an airy-fairy mark. You're telling them this is why you got what you did. If they want it, just give it, but practice using the criteria. You know, the criteria, you'll become so familiar with what a band 6 should look like, what a band 7, when you're using it all the time. Now, that lady that you saw, the Vietnamese that I had today, she was, she's the admin for Vietnam. And I had 9 Vietnamese students. And they were speaking about something, just for a sentence. And anyway, afterwards, she talked to me and she was talking about their sentence. I said, well, she said, did you write down their errors? I said, no, I just wrote down their band. She's like, how did you get their band from 2 sentences? And I said, well, it just comes with practice. But anyway, I won't tell them it because it's their first class and you don't want, you know, just... Hi, Nixon. We're just ready to close with prayer.
I know. I just, got done with the classes. Thought I'll just join in.
Oh, well, that's great. Yeah, we're just having some light conversation. But you know what? It's true. Students want the band, especially in the UAE. They are crazy, absolutely crazy. Oh, I just give it to them. Oh, you're only a band 4 because you're doing this, this, and this. You know, I mean, that's it. They want to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you give bands, Nixon?
Yeah, I do. I try to discuss the evaluation criteria with them. And then I give them a rough band. I usually give them a range. I say, I don't give them an exact band, but I give them a range. So this, it's possible for you to get something between this and this. So, yeah.
Oh.
Especially for the writing and for the listening and reading, well, it's easy. I can just show them the conversion table. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. So, Samir, you want to try it. You want to practice using it. I mean, of course you want to be sure what you say, but it'll make you start getting really familiar with your band. Now, another thing I do is I say to the student, like you got a band 6. Now, if you did this and this and this, you can get a band 7. But I say what they need to do. I don't just say blah, blah, blah. I'm actually specific. And so the next time they come back, they do that and that. So there's quite a few ways around it. You can tell them how to get to what they want or what they were doing wrong that they need to improve on. Yeah, but most of them like to hear what they can do to get that. You were just short of this. You need to add this and this to get to that. And I've never had anyone that hasn't come back and added what they've added and got the score they wanted. Because they're determined, you know, they want that better score. Yeah.
Hello.
Okay, I have
Hello.
one last. Yeah, sure.
Hello, Anju.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Yeah, my question is that, yeah, so as I'm working in an institute where band requirement is must, so the procedure is like TA, that means task accomplishment, lexical resource. We need to give band on all the requirements, and then we have to make the sum of it and then divide it like that, as if we are actual giving bands like that way. So we need to do some kind of multiplication too when we are giving bands. So they students like to say that, ma'am, our CC is not good.
Are you still there, Anju?
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
Yeah.
So you
Can you hear me?
You kind of stopped, you faded. You were saying that you need to give, the institute requires you to give a band, is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, like for example, task one, report writing. So task accomplishment, the overall band, then coherence and cohesion, then lexical resource, then grammatical range and accuracy, like that. So giving bands in all the 4 criteria, and then making the sum of it and writing down the average of it, like that.
I get
So
what
it
you're
is like
saying.
a compulsory.
I get,
Hello.
yeah, I get it. Now I understand what you're saying, because everything is 25%. So do they want to know the 25% for like task achievement?
Yeah.
The 25%
Yeah.
for that. So how do you cope? Do you find
Yeah.
that okay?
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. So do you find that okay?
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, but usually what happens that the student who wants to get 7 or 7.5, like that, they are stuck between 6 and 6.5. Now to raise that getting 7. So I usually don't give 7 because what the student is going to do in the exam, I'm not sure. 90% we can say that this guy could get 6 band or 6.5 or 7. But rest of the 10% is all about how he or she is going to react. So I usually give one less band according to their deserving one.
One less band according to their deserving one.
Deserving means if the student is deserving to get 6 band, then I give 5.5. Because 10% is all about how he's going to perform over there. But rest 90% is going to be good because he or she is deserving. But the 10% is all about the performance, the type of question is going to face. Hello.
Yeah, I get you.
Hello.
So even though the student is a 6, you'll give him a 5.5.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah,
So do I need to give them 6 band or 5.5?
well, are they a 5.5
Hello.
or are they a 6?
Yeah.
What are they?
Yeah. So my question is that, so if the student is no grammatical mistake, did well, then I give 6. Then does he become overconfident or not?
Is this in
Because students
writing?
have the habit of. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, is this in writing, Anju?
Yeah. I'm talking about writing.
So if the student has got no grammatical errors in their 250 word essay, you will give them a band 6.
Okay. Okay.
No, I don't know. Will you?
Hello.
Yeah.
I can't hear you. Sorry.
Does anyone want to elaborate on what she said?
Hello.
Nixon, do you
Yeah, I
understand?
think what she said is that she would just give them. She doesn't want to entertain giving them, a 7. Or she doesn't want to give away a 7 or an 8, so that they become overconfident on the test day. It depends on how they perform, and I think that's what she meant. But yeah, even the examiners are monitored. But then, what I tell them is that there's no way you can get lucky with an 8 if you're at the level 7. If you're at the level 8, there's no way you can get lucky with a 9. So you have to come up to that level with practice. And the 4 things that I usually mention is that you have to work on your English proficiency, like overall English proficiency. You need to understand the test. You need to understand the common mistakes and the misconceptions. And also you need to understand the evaluation criteria. So once you work on these 4 things, you will be able to bring yourself, get yourself a higher band. If not, there's no way I can, get lucky with a band if I am at a basic level of a 6 or a 7. So that's something that I usually tell them. They have to work on their overall English. They need to, spend more time with English, be it listening, reading, writing, or speaking.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they couldn't have luck to get to a 9. But yeah. No, but Anju, if at the mock exam they are a 7, you should give a 7. It's not about whatever happens at the test is out of your hands. So you can't think, okay, this student is a 7, but I'm going to give them a 6 so that they don't get overconfident. That's not your business. Your business is to do with them at the time of the test. You have to give them their right mark. Now, I have students that I give a 7 or an 8 to. Now, whatever happens in the test is their responsibility. Now, sometimes it's dependent on the topic. Sometimes it's like the topic they get, they're unfamiliar with it. Or sometimes I've had a few that have panicked and stopped breathing. So even though they're not panicked in my environment, when they get to the exam, they may panic, and I do have them panic. They're by not a nature, they have like a nervous reaction. but they still get the band from me of what they deserve. Now, I just had this lovely boy from, he's about 18, from Saudi, and he did really well in the speaking. He got a band 7. And he said to me, Miss, after we finished, I said, you speak very well. And he said, I only get a 4 in the exam. I said, what? How come? He said, because when I get into the exam, I can't breathe. I've got this nervousness. And then what I want to say, other things come out. And so even though he got a 7 with me, he got a 4 with the examiner. I don't take any responsibility for that. But I did say to him, take one of these in the class, and it's an inhaler. And I said, so when you can't breathe, say to the examiner, 1 minute, and then you got your breath back and you can breathe. He's like, oh, thank you so much, miss. I failed twice. Sometimes it's just a simple thing that they need. And he left very happy because fear causes him to go. So now he's going to take an inhaler, which is his exam was today. And then when he's finding, and then he'll talk.
But does it really happen? Like 4 and 7 is a
Oh
big
my God, it
right?
happens. It happens. I don't know what it is about Saudis, but I don't know why they become so nervous. And I get shocked. You know, they get a really high mark with me. Then they go into the exam and they get a 4. I said, what happened? I stopped breathing. I couldn't look like, geez, you know, what to do? I don't know about that. So now I say, take a thing, an asthma pump. That's all the solution I have. Yeah. Don't you find that?
What did you say?
Do you find that? Do the students come back to you with their mark?
Yeah, they do, but they never come up with such a big difference, you know. Like if they are scoring, like if they are on, they might go something around like 6.5, but not below that.
Yeah.
And they do say that sometimes because of the nervousness, they did mess up a particular question or mess up a portion of it. So it's like that's only the portion of it. It never happens that they mess up the whole thing. So it might go into like they really wished for a 7 and they ended up having a 6.5 or 6. Doesn't really have a difference of more than 1 band score in that case.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. You know, I had this very clever Indian student in Abu Dhabi, and he was a band 7. So after the exam, and then after the results, he said to me, well, first after the exam, he said, Miss, I didn't do well. I said, what? You're at a band 7 level. He said, I was sitting right where the aircon was facing me, and it made me so cold. I had to keep going to the bathroom. I was like, oh my God. So he used his time up going to the bathroom. I said, tell the examiner you want to change. You see, what I have to always tell students is to take control of their own exam. So that was very sad that he missed out, all because he kept sitting there, getting cold and going to the bathroom. Now that's very unfair, but if they don't speak up, that's how it is. But I tell them to speak up in Saudi, like they have one examiner that nods, you know, nods while they're talking, and they said they get very put off by his nodding. I said, that's so unacceptable. And when he nods, you say to him, excuse me, stop it. I can't think. You know, I really need to think. I've paid a lot of money and I would like you to stop nodding or get someone else that can come in. So they get a fright because they actually don't know. They have control. I said, it's your exam. You've paid for it. You deserve to have an examiner that doesn't interfere in your trying to think by doing this, you know? Yeah, so then they become quite confident. And they're not arrogant, but they just don't know that they can actually say, please stop. Yeah. Tima, you were going to say something before Anju.
That's Fatima from Iran.
Oh, yeah. Tima from Iran. Is that what you said, Nixon?
Yes, that's Fatima.
Oh, Fatima, yeah. Tima.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. Well, you know, Vietnam has gone into lockdown today. Everything is locked down. No one's allowed out of their house because of the Delta variant. And even here in Egypt, they're saying after next month, don't go outside because it's 5 times stronger. I was thinking, where are they getting all this information from? Just crazy. Yeah.
Just fed up with the whole news of these variants and all that. So it's like I've stopped following them.
Yeah. The thing, that lady that was on today from Vietnam, Vivian, she was telling me. Hanoi is locked in lockdown today because of the Delta variant. I was like, oh, all right. Yeah. When
Just
are
one
you
last thing.
moving? When are you moving to Abu Dhabi?
Is that to me?
Yeah.
It actually got cancelled.
Oh, why?
Yeah. The HR was acting very weird all of a sudden, and he was being rude even before started. So it was very obvious that it wouldn't go well in a normal way. So we did cancel that out.
You mean the person that interviewed you was acting weird?
Yes. The HR.
That's a shame.
He even said a statement which was like, it was very like, I was really surprised with the statement. He was saying that I don't know how to talk to a senior.
Who, you?
Yeah, I don't know how to speak to a senior. This is how that you speak to your senior, is what he said. I said, fine.
Why, is he a senior?
I mean, like in our culture, it's not. He's an HR, I'm a trainer. So we are colleagues, isn't it?
Yeah,
But
how
more than
stupid.
that, like whatever it was, and when I asked like what was my mistake, he would say like, when I write a sentence, I should write that with please and kindly in it. Only then it makes the respect. So it was very clear. Even if we start working over there, he's going to treat you as some like slave, you know. So it's
Oh
not
my
going to be a healthy
God.
relationship. So
You
finally, we just cancelled it.
don't need that kind of rubbish.
Yeah, I'm happy over here being in Dubai, doing my freelance work. Maybe I'll get a better chance.
But I thought you were in an institute.
Yes, I'm working with an institute as a freelancer for them.
Okay. Maybe Nixon's institute's got lots of work, eh, Nixon?
It's just the two of us. There's another trainer for IELTS and I'm into OET. So it's just the two of us as trainers.
Mm,
Yeah.
wow. Well, that's that's yeah. Do you find that there's still a lot of students in Abu Dhabi and Dubai?
Yeah, especially these days, people are like willing to somehow leave the UAE, especially health professionals. They know that they don't have many chances here.
Oh, for sure. It's one of the worst countries ever to get on your feet. You know, I'm just talking in general for a lot of people, like especially with COVID. And I just knew so many people that lost their jobs and their companies weren't taking care of them. They weren't doing their visas. You know, it was actually shameful to be such a country as it is and to not care for other human beings. I found that very difficult. And I had a good Indian friend. She was on UAE charity, and she introduced me to Pani Puri. And she said,
There isn't a single session where we don't talk about Pani Puri. Neha should have been here.
she introduced me to Pani. I miss it. I wish it was here in Egypt. And they were always busy. I just loved it. They were a separate charity from UAE charities. You see, UAE charities are fine, but they're only doing certain periods. And if they're out of the period, they're only for local. And so this one she was doing, and a local guy was the head. So they had the government approval. They helped so many people, just giving them food parcels, helping with their rent, their visas, sending them back to where their home is, you know, in their countries. And that was the sad part, is that you think, there's this oil, lots of oil country, but there's so many people suffering, you know. So. Yeah, but well, that's good. I had a message from a husband, a man, for him and his wife. They wanted IELTS classes in Abu Dhabi, but I said I'm not in Abu Dhabi, and I gave Neha's number. So she said she did talk to him, and he said he will contact her back. I even sent Nixon her IELTS scores because he was saying to me, well, you know, Maria, is she very good? Like this. And I said, she's brilliant. Well, I don't know. I said, she's amazing. So I sent her exam results, and he's like, wow, this is very good. I said, yeah, I told you. And he said, so is this a student or a trainer? He was just being pedantic, you know, he's one of these nationality people. And I said, of course it's a trainer. And I said, and she's got the highest marks, and you can't take anyone where you've never been before. And so he was like, oh, true, true. So I hope she gets them, but if she doesn't, it's nothing lost from her, because some people just aren't that nice in the end. I don't actually know him, but I don't know where you got my number. Hey, Mahmood.
Mahmood is here.
Yeah. Time to go to bed.
Hello, dear.
Hello.
I thought of meeting you even if the meeting is, I believe it's already off.
Yes.
You're done with it, right?
Almost. We were just having a like kind of gossips, like chit chat. We were just talking after the completion of the class.
Yeah, I know. I thought of saying hi because I couldn't attend today. So, how is everything?
Are you better after what you did? You feel better now?
Yeah, so far so good. Yet I have the little one on my shoulder right now sleeping. And I thought I can get the chance to see you all. Let me show you how it looks like.
Okay. And you've had a haircut. Or don't wake him up. Don't disturb him.
No, it's okay. He's like falling asleep. A deep one. He was torturing us last night. That's why he's asleep now.
All right.
So are you in Cairo or in Zagazig?
Zagazig.
Or Sharqiyya, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're there, right?
No, I'm in Zagazig. And I'll probably go to Cairo next weekend. We'll see. I haven't been for
So it's
two.
like Thursday, Friday.
Well, my day off is Friday. Now that I've added Vietnam, I'm so clever. I loved my Friday and Saturday. And then I go and sign up for 3 hours in Vietnam. I thought, why do I do this to myself? Yes. But you know what? She's so funny, Vivian. She's from Hanoi in Vietnam. And she kept saying to me, oh, but you've never taught Vietnamese. Oh, I thought, please, I wanted to say, please shut up. If I poked him, will red blood come out? You know, really, what is this? I said, it's fine, Vivian. It's fine.
Do you stay in an apartment in Cairo or just visit and go back?
No, come back here because, you know, I've got this apartment and I pay the landlord every month. And
No, I mean, if you go to Cairo, you don't stay overnight.
No, I don't.
Uh-huh.
No, I don't. Yeah, maybe one day.
And where do you go when you visit Cairo?
Well, I went to
Like,
the
do you have
market.
special places to go to?
No, I went to the market. You know, the huge market. It had such a big market, I wouldn't get out the car.
You don't know its name or the place or
It's
whatever?
the main market and there's a bridge. It's the main market in the city, right in the city, and it goes for miles. And there's people selling all along the way. I'd never seen so many people.
Ah, and you have a huge bridge in the middle of a circle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah, I know where it is. That's heavily crowded. I never go there.
Yeah, well, I didn't. I sat in the car. It was okay. It's just it was just too many people, and you know, you got to be clever during this COVID time because there's so much. There's no social distancing, so yeah.
Yeah, and there they know nothing about Corona. Yeah. In this
Really?
place, it's difficult to find somebody who is wearing a mask. But it's like they don't care. Okay, if it's gonna hit me, it will hit me, even if I'm at home. They think like that. So it's like, okay, I'll go get my things, and I will not bother myself thinking about COVID.
No, people are tired of this.
The
People are
interesting,
tired of like hiding
yes,
themselves, sitting inside home. So it's like they really
yes,
want
and
to come out.
the interesting thing is that people in this crowded place never get COVID, and that is really strange. That is really strange.
I
It's like
mean,
people
it's
who take care
crowded.
of themselves too much, they get COVID easily. But those who do not, they never get COVID. I
Do you-
believe COVID is eclectic,
Do you know-
selective, very selective.
Yeah, do you know that Cairo is 4 times bigger than my country? Just Cairo alone is, yeah, because you've got 20 million in Cairo. My whole country is 5 million.
In one city, yeah. Yeah, let me tell you, it's like Egypt only is 1/3 of the whole Arab countries. Just 1/3 of the Arab-speaking people in the world are in Egypt.
Yes, well, I'll tell you something else. Your president has talked about only 2 children per person because the population is breeding like rabbits. You
2
know,
children for what?
he's
Yes,
he's
he's
wanting
trying
2 children
raise the
per
awareness.
family.
Mm-hmm.
So you're
He's trying to raise the awareness towards that because what is that?
I said you're perfect.
Again,
You've got
the
your-
internet is not so good.
You've got your 2 children.
Yes, but it's not for the president actually. It's for that I need to have only 2. It's like because I would never be able to pay for them in the future. So it's like, okay, that's enough. And with the children, enough is enough because it's hectic. I have 2 and they're like killing me so far.
Yeah.
Just like my advice, Sumia, please get only 1. Don't get more than that.
Yeah.
It's definitely not easy to like raise them.
Yes, not easy at all. Yes, in this particular time that we're living in, it's not that easy.
Hey, what happened to those other people?
Might be because we are talking, they did realize that
Oh
class
my
is over.
God, I
And
just
they
realized. I
They
just
It's
all
like
left
let's
it just for
vanish.
us.
Let's vanish while they're not noticing.
no, you caused this, Mahmood. You came in and you took over, and now they've gone. So tell me, what was that exam that you sent? Someone got a band 7, yeah?
Someone is 7.5 and the other is 8.
Wow. And these are your 2 students?
Yep,
That is brilliant.
these are my latest students, the last 2 that I've been teaching. It's like I don't ask my students to send their scores.
All right.
I didn't really get you.
What's that, Samir?
I didn't really get him. Like I didn't really understand what he said.
He told his students to send their scores.
Same bad scores.
Is that right, Mahmood? Send you their scores? All right, he's busy with the one on his shoulder. Now,
Hello.
while you're
Can you hear me?
here,
Mhm.
here, and there's only us, Nixon and Samia,
Mhm.
do
Yep.
you eat
Yes.
meat?
Do you?
Eat meat?
What?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
do.
I do.
Good, because
I eat everything.
oh great. because I was talking and Mahmood said, we'll talk outside because like on the private, because we don't know, you know, maybe it's an offense to some of you. I was like, what? Really?
That's totally a different thing, but for us, no, it's not.
Yeah.
I changed my accommodation and my new roommate happens to be a vegetarian. But he doesn't have a problem when I eat meat. He doesn't have a problem with that.
Really? That's
Easier.
great.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
He
is-
was even ready to cook, non-veg for me. He doesn't know, but he would like to give it a try. And I said no.
So this message that you probably didn't understand was in code to Mahmood. I said, did you understand what I said, Mahmood?
Just make me remember, please refresh my memory.
It was
When you said what?
So did you do what you did that you didn't want to say? Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
See, and it
It's more
wasn't
like,
even.
okay, it's a secret and let others think about it.
Yeah. Hi, Ellie.
Ellie joined.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, she joined.
Long
Ellie,
time no
are you
see.
there?
She just joined. Maybe she's
Oh, she
not
left again.
online. Yes, maybe she has
So-
troubles.
Samir, this is the message I sent Mahmood because he said we can't talk about meat on global and IELTS. So I said to him, because he told me he was exhausted from sacrificing the ox. And then I said, but he can't say it in front of everyone. I said, hi, Mahmood, hope you got a good rest after you know what with the you know what.
Yes.
Okay.
There are like different beliefs and superstitions in every part of the world. So India has
Yeah.
its own superstitions and beliefs, like in some part of the world. But then, like when it comes to me or Nixon, we obviously are not part of it. Like there are some groups. There are some groups which actually like pray to cow. So they consider something as like a god, cow as a god. So they won't really let that slaughtering happen, like slaughtering of cows. Like they do react on it, and they don't eat beef. So that's something that he might have heard.
Yeah, he made me paranoid because I don't eat like that. And I became paranoid after he told me.
I actually stopped eating meat for some time just because I was into rescues, and I was like, I'm rescuing some animals and I'm eating others. So it kind of gave me a guilt feeling. Like I was rescuing dogs on the road, cats, birds, and then all of a sudden I'm eating chicken. That's also a bird. Like I'm saving a life, and at the same time I'm killing something for my food. So I got so guilty and I
It
stopped
completes the
eating
cycle.
in between. But then later on, like I kind of like got okay with it and I started eating again.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like I didn't want to bother any of the members, so I was worried because we have many Indians. I don't know their
Yeah.
belief, so I thought of not spelling it
That's it.
out and hurting people. That's why.
We have another candidate, Fahmida.
Huh.
Hi.
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 Hi, Famida.
Yeah,
Hi,
she's my
Mahmood.
friend from India.
Wow. Hi, Nixon's friend from India.
Yeah. She used to work here in the UAE, but then
She has a
recently, I
list
think
of
last year.
fan over there.
No, she was here. She was my colleague actually. We were working together. She was my senior. I learned a lot of things from her even now.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, Famida, are you back in India?
Yes.
Oh, what? Did you have enough of Dubai?
Yes, Nixon was tired of me, so he sent me back.
Really, Nixon? How mean. Yeah.
That's a good one.
So, are you in an institute, Famida?
No, I'm doing freelance work.
Okay. And is there a lot of freelance work?
Yes, there is.
That's good. Yeah. There's heaps.
And that
of-
is all IELTS, right, Famida?
There's OET and IELTS as well.
What is it? OET and IELTS.
OET,
you said.
IELTS and PTE as well.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello? Ah,
Yeah.
yeah, OET and IELTS, you said, right?
OET, IELTS and PTE as well.
PTE.
Aha, cool.
If you ask her again, she'll say TOEFL, IELTS, PTE, and OET
No,
as well.
not much of TOEFL. Not much of TOEFL.
Okay, now I believe her
She
that
is
you
quite
sent
an
her away
all-rounder.
because you're tired. You did that. You're mean, man. Don't pick on her.
No, she is truly quite an all-rounder. She is. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, that's so sweet.
He's lying.
Is it raining?
Not much. It's just drizzling now and then.
Oh, so it's slowed down a bit, yeah?
Yes, that's.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, how come you came so late?
I had a class. It just got over.
Ah, well, I'm glad you showed up anyway. Thank you for showing
Thank
up
you.
anyway.
My pleasure. In fact, Nixon was telling this for a very long time. And even the last time, I wasn't able to make it up.
Yeah, he's quite a gatherer. Oh, Nixon.
Yeah.
Seems to me-
He's
He
a
always does
magnet.
that.
He's a magnet in disguise.
Yeah. Yeah, he's great. He'll tell me.
No,
who's
almost
coming.
all the candidates over here in this session is somewhere like related to Nixon.
Nixon.
Yeah. In one or the other way, they are related to Nixon.
He's corona, highly infectious.
Mm.
I
No
sent the
religion,
link to a
no
lot of
caste,
people.
no creed.
No, a lot of them tried to join, but then some of them had to leave. And yeah,
Yeah. Well, you know,
just about networking. Yeah.
people want to join, but sometimes something happens and it doesn't happen for this time or the next time, but it will happen.
Yep.
Yeah. So next fortnight, it's Devinder and I doing the speaking. I'm just really there as a support for him. And then the fortnight after, Samir's doing listening, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then I think in the next fortnight, it's your other friend, Nixon.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And
I did mention September 4th. That would be Shailini from Chennai.
Okay.
I've told her like September 4th as a prospect date, so she's okay with it. And if things go as planned, she would join us.
Cool.
Yeah. I think like even a week's notice is a good thing,
Yeah.
you know, so it can be advertised. I only did tonight because I didn't have anyone. But it's all right. It's all good. I like to keep the momentum going every fortnight, come rain, hail, or
Yeah.
shine.
Mhm.
Yeah. And now we got Vivian.
Mm. Where?
Vivian, that new Hanoi lady, the one who doesn't think I know Vietnamese.
Okay, yes, the one who left early.
Yeah.
Why are not? Why aren't they on the WhatsApp group?
She only, well, she didn't, no, what happened with her, she wasn't even, I invited her to this because she sat in on my class today. I had 3 hours with 9 of her students. So she sat in, and at the end of it, I said to her, look, would you like to be a part of, well, come along first and come to the class if you like. So she did, yes. So I'll send her, the next step is to send her an invite to the group. But it was so funny, you know. I had my interview with her the other day, and I'm very nice unless someone pushes the wrong button. And so I was answering all her questions about IELTS, and then she wanted I sent her the plan, and then she sent it back to me on WhatsApp, and she said, I don't understand what you're talking about with blah, blah, blah. And I said, please don't try to understand it. We're totally different. We've had different training. And so she said, oh, I'm sorry if I've upset you. I said, no, you haven't upset me. But you just don't say, I don't understand, because maybe you're the problem, not me. And now we're best of friends. She came right after that. And afterwards she said, oh, that was the most brilliant lesson I've had. Oh, you're so good. And I said, thank you. She said, we don't pay you enough. I said, no, you don't. No one pays me enough. I'm serious. And I said, my last one in Abu Dhabi, I said to him, you can't afford me. She's like, no, we can't afford you. Oh, but I'm not going to say give me a rise because I've already agreed to 10-week sessions. But after the 10 weeks, I'll ask for more. But it was good it came from her. She said, we can't afford you. I said, no, you can't. You're not paying enough. But anyway. So she became really nice, you know, and she came along. And this happens when people don't really know you, yeah? And it's actually when someone doesn't understand anything, it's not because of the person that's presented it, it's because of their limited understanding. So I wasn't going to try to explain something to her who doesn't understand anyway. You know what I mean? Anyway, that was it. Now we're buddies. Yeah, so I will tell her, I'll ask her if she'd like to join. She's actually not a trainer. I said to her, you need to get higher than what you are, because you're telling people about us and you don't know enough. And she wants to do that now. A network of IELTS trainers from across the globe. Very good, Nixon, you're recruiting.
I was about to write the next line, but now I won't because you'll obviously like laugh on that too. I was just like writing to her that like we had a section on task 2 today, task 2 writing, and then we were just talking to each other.
Okay, so I missed it.
Yes, you missed it. Even I joined late because I had a session. So it was a task 2 on which like Maria was showing her 5-step for the task 2, like 5-step essay. So she had the whole PPT on that, presentation on that. And afterwards, we were just chatting with each other.
I thought she was asking about the WhatsApp group. That's what I said.
Okay.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Nixon, you should send the link, not just global IELTS trainers. Send the link.
Yeah, the WhatsApp. Yeah,
Let
we
me
can
do
join
that.
through the text.
Yeah, maybe
Let
we
me
create
do
a
that.
link on that particular group.
Mhm.
We actually don't have a
Okay,
link
I'm
over there, right?
No,
Well,
you
we
do.
have. I'm gonna send it right now.
Yeah, you do. You go to the
Yeah,
top and you.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, it's there.
Oh, great. Our group is quite quiet, isn't it? It's a quiet
Kind of like
group.
it.
I mean, it's nice, you know. Everyone only talks when someone says something, and then you get nothing
Mhm.
for 2 days, and then they talk again.
Yeah, it's always like that. It's like so calm, and then it bursts.
Oh.
Silence before the thunder.
What was that?
Silence before the thunder.
Why?
Thunderstorm.
Uda?
Silence before the storm.
Ah, okay. Now I
Yeah.
heard you.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's always like that. Yes.
Yeah, no, it's great.
No, it's just that candidates don't want to disturb Maria when she's talking and explaining all that stuff. And it's like when everything is over, now it's like, okay, we can speak now.
Let's jump in.
Yeah, let's jump in.
No. No, it's really good. I like hearing from everyone. Only Finny has been
Mhm.
very quiet. Is Finny okay?
Finny,
It's
yeah,
no.
he's fine.
Yeah. I want to tell you something, Maria. It's like I would like to meet you, to take a selfie with you, and share it on the group,
Yeah.
telling them, okay, I met Maria and you haven't yet. So it's like I'm going to tease them with it.
Light restrictions are still there, I guess.
Look.
There's
So
only
I'm
one problem.
planning.
There's only one problem.
What is it?
There might be another
What is it?
Duada sending me messages.
What is it?
What's your surname, Mahmood?
Another Dweedar.
What's your
Dweedar.
surname? Duda?
Vidar.
Dweedar.
Vidar.
Duida.
Dweedar. Yes.
Duida. Well, I'll
Yes.
tell you what I know about Egyptians. Beware of married men. So you know why? Because one of the relatives will message you, a female, to know who you are. You see, your guys' blood runs strong, so
Yeah.
it does. Very much so.
Yeah,
I
but
know-
you know what? I am only I and my great uncle, the only two that have Dweedar in their names on Facebook or whatever. Our family never uses this name, although it's our family name. But they use the surname, like my first great grandfather. So it's like I am Mahmoud, Abdul Latif, Mahmoud, Megahed. They use Megahed, and then Dweedar is the fifth name. So I do so, my uncle does so, and none of the family members do so. So they all use Megahed, not Dweedar. So you will never have anyone who uses Dweedar unless he is one of the branches that I don't know.
So you know that picture I sent you of that Hala
Yeah, I don't know that female. I don't know her.
It was so random. It was so random. It just showed up on my phone. And I thought, hey, isn't this Mahmood's last name? What are these Egyptians
Yeah.
up to? Do they think I'm having an affair with them? Oh my God. I never heard from her again. I tell you what,
Yeah.
Manu,
It's,
it's in your,
uh,
in the lady's blood, because it's not the first time. I've had so many run-ins with Egyptian ladies who think something that is actually nothing, you know, and it's just because of how
yeah, I
it's
understand.
So,
Yeah, I understand. Egyptian females get jealous easily.
oh my God, they are
Yeah.
dynamites.
Yes.
You know, I used to go to school and there were 2 Egyptian teachers. And when I'd go in, they'd say, why are you wearing that? I mean, it was quite fine, but,
Uh-huh.
you know, they just had a problem with some things. And yet they were nice, but they were always about, why are you doing that? Why are you wearing that? And I'm very well covered. I don't like
Uh-huh.
believe
Take
in,
a picture of Joy or Joy. Well, William Wordsworth.
pardon?
Famida, please repeat.
I was just trying to get it. Like there's this word, William Wordsworth, a thing of joy, a sight of joy, beauty forever, or something. So, for exactly what Maria told now, and the way you told, Egyptian women are jealous.
Yes,
There was
Egyptian
this
women.
line by William Wordsworth from his poem Daffodils.
Aha, that's right.
I was trying to get that.
You read a lot, Famida.
A little. Now, compared to
A
Nixon,
lot,
very
a lot.
little.
Reads a lot. She reads
You
a
read a lot.
I love literature.
Yeah, that is great, actually. Yes. But
Yes.
it's been a long time for me since I read something. You may, okay, I'm gonna grab something and read it. It's been a long time for me. Yeah.
The day we think so, we read a lot, but then the very next day we just lose every motivation. I tried to read.
Let me
I
tell you, I
watched,
had
I listened. Yeah.
once I had a colleague from South Korea. He used to read the whole dictionary in 3 days.
Wow.
How boring.
They eat books easily. They read so fast.
But why
South
would
Korea.
someone do that? I mean,
I
like,
don't know. South Koreans read a lot and so fast. It's like the only test that he beat me in is the reading. He's like, oh, okay, 15 minutes, he's done, he's out. I took a whole hour. He took only 15 minutes.
Do you peripheral read? Famida? Famida, do you peripheral read?
Pardon?
Do you read peripherally?
Yes, very religiously every night.
Uh-huh.
I love it. But you know, one time there's this book called about this lady lived in a cave in Jordan. She married a Jordan guy, Jordanian.
Okay.
And
Jordanian.
yeah, I had to read a book. I had to read this book because someone was leaving. It was about 200 pages. And so I had like
The name?
10 minutes to read this book.
Mhm.
And when I peripheral read, you can do it, yeah? You just look at the center.
Okay.
You look at the center of the page and then your
Mhm.
eye catches everything around it, but it only catches the main points. So you can look at a page, it'll catch the main points, you turn it over, do it again, catch the main points, do it again. Now I love that way. I was taught that way, and the person who gave me the book, they said, you're not finished. I said, yes, I am. Here, I read it. And then I was able to tell her what was in it. And I don't think enough of us do the peripheral reading. If we did, we wouldn't take so
But
long.
don't you think you will lose the essence of it if you read it
No.
so quick?
No, you
Because
don't.
sometimes when I read it again, I seem to understand it even better than the last time. Maybe it was
Oh,
years
definitely.
before when I read it.
Definitely. If I had to read it a second time, but what I got, the thing was, I needed to give it back to her and she was leaving. And I didn't want to go without reading. So when I read it that way, I was able to tell her what was, because she didn't believe I'd read it. I said, oh, well, this happened and this and this and this. She's like, well, yeah, it did. Now, if I had more time, I probably could have gone over it properly. But I like to do that way because it just
You are practicing skimming and scanning.
Yeah, but you just put your, not quite, because you know the page, we don't practice it, and yet we've got that ability where we can pick up a page, look right in the middle of the center, and of course you don't just see the middle, you see everything around it. So it's all about practice. It's not skimming and scanning, it's just called peripheral reading, because you're reading with your periphery.
No, I actually
Maria,
searched the term on internet.
What happened?
I actually searched the term on internet because I couldn't really hear the exact word when you said. And what I found is when you use your peripheral vision to read,
Yes.
you look in the space between two words instead of looking the
Yeah.
specific word. Trying to read
Yes.
both words and then moving your eyes to the next pair of words.
Yeah, so well, I just keep it in the one.
And it's like you just get the whole idea of the page so fast.
I'm actually listening to something like this for the first time. Like I do, even I love to read sentence by sentence because I feel like I didn't get the whole thing.
I
if
feel
don't read it.
you feel more connected with it when you read sentence by sentence. You give a little time to dwell on the scene, get
Yeah, you
yourself
kind of
involved with the
picturize
character.
it.
I only do it according to time. I'm quite happy to read a book properly, but if my time
got
is
the
limited, then I'll do it that way rather than go without reading it. Yeah.
No, I sometimes wonder your vocabulary level from your essays. Like whenever you write these essays, there might be like 5 or 6 words all the time that I haven't heard before. Like even for today, the word that you used like was unbeknown, right? Like unbeknown. So like no, without knowing something.
Yeah.
And then even hem is a word that we haven't used before. Like I have heard hem before, but I haven't really used it. The word hem.
Oh, helm. At the helm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, L is there. L is not silent.
No, helm. 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 At the helm. Yeah.
So is it with the reading that you get so many new words and use them in the writing? Because I have always had a set of words for the IELTS writing, which came from the like vocabulary list or whatever we have read for the IELTS. But whatever you write are mostly totally out of that context, like are not from those lists at all.
No, I get bored with those lists. I know those lists. I don't like them. Yeah. No, I don't know. It's just part of the reading because I love reading. You know, like I think I told you whenever we went on holiday, I packed books. I never packed clothes. I packed for a whole month. We go on holiday during the Christmas period. I would pack a big box of books, and everyone's packing their clothes, and my books go in the vehicle. When we get there, my books come down to the beach, and I sit there and I just read.
Like all the vocabularies that you use in your writing is because of the reading habit, right?
Probably because I read lots, but just because I loved it. I wasn't involved in IELTS. I was a teacher, but IELTS wasn't in my sphere. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's so many words. Nixon even says it. If I talk to him and say, wait on, I have a look at that word.
Yeah, because I don't read. I watch a lot of videos, I listen to a lot of things, but I don't read. And believe it or not, I haven't finished a book.
Ever? Like
Never.
ever?
Never ever.
Oh,
Because some read for
I think,
purpose, some read for pleasure. So I don't read for pleasure,
yeah, I
I only read
understand.
for purpose. Yeah.
Uh-huh, that's why. It's like I read all Shakespeare, like everything
Oh, wow.
of Shakespeare.
How boring. Who reads Shakespeare?
No, Shakespeare is perfect. I love it. Come on. For me, Shakespeare is literature.
Well, all my books were not novels that I took in the box. They were psychotherapy books. I love psychotherapy,
Uh-huh.
understanding the mind, understanding why someone does what they do, why they think what they do, how they behave like they do. It's so interesting. So interesting.
Sure.
Now, I'll tell you one thing. I was going on this, in Abu Dhabi, they have this huge, what you call that thing, Ferris wheel that goes around at Marina Mall. Now, I was going with my daughter on it. And anyway, she was all happy. So we hopped in and the guy closed the door. Oh my God, it was a glass door. And I went to sit down and she was screaming at the window. I was like, oh my God, what happened? Honestly, I was crying. And she's like, I was like, oh my God. And then it started moving. I said, what happened? And she said, oh, I feel claustrophobic. Now, thank God I'd read psychotherapy books. That's the reason I read it, so I could understand more about children. And I said to her, when was the first time this happened to you? Now you use an empowering question. When someone freaks, there's always a first time, and their mind goes from subconscious to conscious. It's hidden in the subconscious. When you ask the empowering question and you say, when was the first time? They'll say it in a moment. She said, when I was 10, my cousins locked me in a cupboard. We were playing hide and seek, and the cupboard was dark and they locked the door. See, I didn't even know that. But I said to her, well, okay, it's not now. This isn't now, that was then. And you got through it, blah, blah, blah. So you do all your kind of psychotherapy. But even our students, the one who taught me how to eat pani puri, she was learning else. And something
Was
happened.
it Lavia?
What?
Was it Lavia? Lavia
Yeah,
also?
Lavia.
Yeah.
So she's teaching, I was teaching her outside her home, and something happened, and I said, when is the first time that happened? And she told me, that works all the time. The only thing is, you can't play with people's minds. You have to be able to give them some hope. And we dropped the IELTS and she did psychotherapy counseling instead. And it was brilliant. It was only a few sessions, and after that, we were back onto the IELTS. It's everywhere. So many humans want help, and if you come across it, it's really good. But yeah.
Since we are only 4, even I would say, I think I did tell you on the last conversation, I am going through some discussion, like depression or like fighting this loneliness. Like I'm scared of loneliness. The way she's scared of like closing something, I'm scared of loneliness. Like I can't stay alone.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
You're married, Mummy.
That was something else.
So
No, but
Samir,
sometimes we do enjoy, loneliness. Sometimes we do get scared. So
Might be, but I really don't know like how to just fight this. I'm trying my best to do it, but like all the day when I plan something, just because of this feeling of loneliness, I end up doing only like 5% or 10% of what I've planned. But if there was someone around, I might have done like almost 80-90% of what I planned for the day.
well, Samir, remember when you had that nightmare?
Yeah, I do remember. I might have told you like I called Mahmood and I just got like somehow I got calm after talking to him. It was also again because there was no one at home, and as soon as I got the nightmare, I just don't know what to do. I got so scared that I really want someone to talk to and just get okay with that.
Well, I hope you don't watch any more nightmares.
No, that was the last time that I spoke about something
no, she
in
didn't
the
even
night.
watch the movie. She was just discussing
Yeah,
it
I
with the
spoke
student,
to
I think.
someone.
Yeah.
I spoke to someone at night.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
She
that's
didn't
right.
watch the movie. Yeah.
I spoke to someone at night. She was a candidate and she had a DP, a profile picture on her Zoom account, which was like very scary. So I asked about that character and she explained in detail about the character. So that was a horror character.
Curiosity. Have you heard that saying, curiosity got the cat?
Which one?
Curiosity got the cat.
No,
You know
no.
what got you?
I made a video about that
What's
idiom.
your curiosity? You see, if you weren't curious, you wouldn't have asked, but you asked, and then what happened? It came back on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made a video about that, but it was explaining the idiom in Arabic, and I have it on my channel. Actually, yes, curiosity killed the cat.
How do you
Because
say
we have
that in
something like
Arabic?
that in English. It has two meanings in Arabic actually. So it's like when we say curiosity killed the cat means that do not intervene or get between two people. It's like if you get curious to know something, you may ruin it. So we say in Arabic, يدخل بين البصلة وقشرتها means people who gets in between the onion and its leaf. You get the bad odor at the end. So it's like, yeah, if that's curiosity killed the cat. It's like you get inside the onion and you will sniff the bad odor. So don't do that. Don't get into the onion. Don't get your nose into the onion. So it's like curiosity killed the cat may mean that in Egypt as well. Yet in that point, the other meaning is the meaning related to what Sumia was talking about. It's like you get curious to know something so bad that you get hurt at the end. So it's like it's the same. It's like, yeah.
Anyway, is there any quick fix to the situation that I told? Like since you and Maria, then you'll read a lot. Do you think there's a quick fix to the situation that I said right now?
Well, sure. I would ask you, when was the first time you felt like that? And you would actually be able to say, even if you were a young child, that's what it does. It's always the first time, but it's really probably not the place. Like something happened that made you feel this sense of loneliness, and it doesn't go away until it's addressed. So obviously there's something.
I actually never thought about this, but since you said this right now, I think it's true. Like I have had these complaints like regularly to my mother or to people in my family saying that I'm all alone, or it's like I felt bad over it. you know so might be a thing. I always felt bad about being alone, and I would complain to my family members saying like I'm just all alone.
Are you talking about now or even from a while ago?
Childhood. I'm just saying about the
Oh,
childhood.
from childhood. Now, are you the only child or something?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
That's a good reason. Yep.
And I've been
That's a good
always
reason.
complaining about it.
Yeah, yeah, and unfortunately, it can become a reality if we keep repeating it enough, you know, and so your mind is always telling you you're alone. But you can replace it with something else where you tell yourself, you have to retrain your mind, and you tell you, see, because I was the opposite to you, yeah? I told you I love my own
Yes,
company.
you said that.
I get a lot of fun with myself. I can make myself laugh. But like you could probably start speaking positive things into your mind, like retrain yourself. Have you thought about getting a flatmate?
Not right now. Obviously, I can't because I'm going to like vacate this place in August 24. So the whole thing that I have to do is I have to pack this whole thing by at least 10th of next month. So I'm not thinking of getting a new flatmate. You know, the plan that I said, like, I do plan for the day, and most of my plans is to get my things packed. You know, packing is one of my tasks which is not happening right now. I'm really scared about this because I have to do all the packing, I have to do all the cleaning, I have to get like a lot of things done just before 10th, and I'm not doing it just because I'm like too lonely, and I'm just like getting depressed, and I'm sitting over one place for the whole day.
Wow. Mm.
I never face this issue if someone is around. You know, like when I did have people in this flat, I was totally fine. This started only after, like in May, when even my fiance left the country for some other work. There was another girl, even she's not here. So it's like all of a sudden, just because of their work, they had to leave. It's very obvious, like everyone has to take care of their work. And I have to be here back in this same flat all alone. Since we have paid for this flat, I obviously have to stay until August. And like from May, maybe like starting of June is when I've started facing these issues.
Mm.
But the fact that you have sessions and online sessions, like it has helped you a lot to, stay busy and keep your mind off these things.
You know, it's the only time when I actually work or sit and do something else. But even like in one way, if you think, it's not helping me much because it's only making those sessions happen. Like other than that, all my routines is still empty. Like I don't eat food properly, I don't sleep properly,
Yeah.
I don't do my works. Only the classes, because I know that I have those commitments, I will come and sit on that place and I take proper sessions and then go back in bed.
Yeah, that
So
is
why don't you
not.
go out, have fun after day,
Yeah, you need to go
after
out.
work? I mean, yes. Why don't you go out, make friends? You're very outgoing and nice, so you may make a lot of friends.
I just don't know. It's not like I'm not able to do it. All of a sudden, something is stopping me a lot just because my mind is saying this.
Or at least like take a walk, maybe, whenever you get time
It, it
before it gets too dark. Yeah.
let me tell you what I do when I feel so. It's like I tire myself up. It's like I walk, I run, I do whatever I may have to do that would make me feel tired enough to go to sleep dead. So it's like I would never feel anything of what you're experiencing because I make myself get tired in a nice way for sure. But it's like, okay, I gotta go to sleep now. So I fall in bed and go to sleep.
I
So
got your point, but it's like I need something to push me to even do that. You know, like as she said, like maybe like I have to tell my mind to make me do it, and that's what not happening.
mhm.
Maria, you were saying something. Retrain on what?
Well,
Just before Maria say
Mm-hmm.
anything, I would like
Yeah.
to tell you one thing. Excuse me,
Mm.
Maria. You will regret every single second that you feel tired of these days. You didn't
No.
get me. Let me explain more. Every single second that you feel alone, you will wish for after you get married and have
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let
I
me
think so.
enjoy every
I'm fond
single
of people
second.
having around.
Enjoy every single second while you can sleep peacefully,
I can
because you will
understand your
regret that.
feelings. I can understand what you're going through.
That's
It
it.
doesn't have
Sorry,
to be.
Maria.
No, you're right. Like you're a married man with 2 children, and so it's important
Yeah.
for you to have some alone time. Everyone needs some alone time, but Samia doesn't need alone time because she's always alone. So no, when I said like you should retrain. Now what happened? This comes right back to when you were young. You remember telling anyone in your family, I'm alone, yeah? And what did they tell you?
They will just make a joke of it. They'll even my mother, she would just laugh and say, okay, get ready, we'll go to the market and buy you a brother. That was the kind of reply that I would get. So
And
for them it was just a joke.
And you always see, because the thing about being alone is being content with being alone. That's the key. But if you're not content with being alone, then of course it's going to be the opposite of content, which is discontentment. So you have to tell yourself it's okay to be alone, but see, I don't know, like, are you religious in any way?
Not much actually. I would say I do believe that this is superpower, like bit of spiritual, but not religious exactly.
All right. Okay, so like, yeah, obviously it was something from way back where you felt the sense of loneliness. Now, if you follow back through your family, it's probably a common thing. It's probably, but you just don't hear about it. That it can still be in other families, and you don't have to be the only child, but there's some things that keep going up through the generations. And for you to be, as a child, always feeling alone, it's not normal. Children are on their own, but, I know many only childs, but their upbringing was fine. They were quite balanced, which means it was more than that for you, that you felt alone. What are you afraid of the dark?
I was before, but right now I'm not. Like initial stages, I was even afraid of the dark. Like I will always need someone, and even I remember my seniors would actually scare me just because I am scared of the dark. Like whenever the light goes off, people would knowingly scare me just because they know that I'm scared of dark. It would happen in my hostel, even at my home. They would laugh, making me scared after they put off the lights. I would scream to have someone near me because I just can't see anything. I am scared of it. But now I'm not like that. I think by itself it just went away. That fear just went away.
Yeah, so at night you can sleep with all the lights off.
Yes, I can.
All right, that's good. Yeah, well, obviously there was something that happened that when you were young that causes this anxiety of being on your own, which, I mean, you may know what it is. I don't need to know what it is. But the thing that when you do know what it is to replace it with truth. Now, it's a lie when something is telling us we're alone, we're this, we're that. The truth is that, okay, we are physically alone, but we're not really alone. All right. And this is the peace we get from being on our own. We can be alone, but we don't feel alone. There's a difference. Do you know what I mean? Do you get that? Like, I'm alone. I missed it when I really missed my daughter when I came here. And but that's things I can get over. Time heals. But most of the time, or all of the time, I'm on my own. And I've always made friends with myself, so I don't feel alone. But when it goes overboard to a sense where it stops us, like you said, you can sit there all day and do nothing, but you know you've got to do something. Something is stopping you from doing it. Now, you're stronger than that something stopping you from doing it. You have to retrain your mind. You tell, like, even if you write it down and you see it on a paper, I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. That is the difference. I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. Now, if you write that, if you fill up a whole page, that is going to be like a retraining, because something obviously has had an effect on you that you can't handle by yourself. So you can just retrain yourself. I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. You can do a whole page just writing those lines, because you're going to retrain your mind and convince yourself that you may be alone, but you're not lonely. All right. And you may not know what happened to you when you were younger to bring this fear of being alone. I don't need to know what it is, but you can tell yourself what happened back then isn't true. It's a lie. It's not from God. Now we can just say God, the superpower. We're not going to put him into any category. It's not from God because this superpower is love and a sense of belonging. Now, when you don't have it, of course, you've got the other side, which is the nice side. And so you need to start telling yourself the truth. I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. Whatever happened to me back then, I don't want it. I forget it. I forgive whatever it is, and I move on. That's how you're going to set yourself free. Now, forgiveness is an amazing thing. You can't see it. It's unseen, but it's real. When we hold on to unforgiveness because someone's done something to us, no matter what, and we have this real unforgiveness, it's like a cord that keeps us connected in the spirit realm. There's the physical realm we live in, and there's the other realm we live in. Now, when I have people who can't forgive, and I'm counseling them, I say, you need to forgive them, not because of them, because what they did was really bad, but you need to forgive them so you can be free. Because if you hold on to unforgiveness and you can't forgive this person that maybe killed your brother, just say, with a gun, you've got this unforgiveness you're holding on to against this person. What that does, that keeps you connected to them. Yuck! I tell the people, why do you want to be connected to someone so ugly? someone that killed your brother. When you forgive for the reason of being set free from them. And the minute you forgive, you can't see the cord, but it's like the supreme power just comes and with the scissors and sets you free. And so I would encourage you to do that because something's happened to you and, you know, you're not fearful, which is a very good thing. But when I'm talking to you now, Samir, there's definitely stuff coming to me that I'm feeling that is from the dark side. It's not your fault. It's nothing to do with you, but it's what happened to you when you were young. Now, I'll tell you one thing is that any opposition to being free comes with you being strong. Because I tell you what, whatever did this thing doesn't want to let you go. It's just how it is. That's how it is. That's life. So it's going to do everything to keep you in its power. So you stay helpless. You stay lonely. You stay depressed, but you don't want that. And you're too beautiful a person to accept that as your life because it doesn't go away. It just carries on. So when you feel ready, you can start writing these lines. You can start reprogramming yourself and you can say, I forgive what happened to me when I was young. I don't forgive the person. I don't forgive the act, but I forgive so that I can be free. That's what you're doing it for. Okay, do you think you'll be able to do that by yourself?
I think I'll do that because I really want this. You know, I just want to get rid of this for sure.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah, and I know it's on the button, you know how I know? Because when I start talking to someone, I get all the coldness coming on me. And it's not you, but it's this thing that's keeping you in this place. And like I said, you're too beautiful a person to have that, you know, you need to be free. So yeah, that's it. It's nothing complicated. Just fill out. The reason why you write it, it's because it's part of training your mind. You're writing, I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. And then when you're ready, you write, I forgive. Now, tell you what, the name will come to you. It just does. This is the way. This is how it is. When anything is exposed, so is the name of whoever. So when you say, I forgive, blah, 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 for what happened to me, I forgive my parents for letting it happen to me. I forgive every family member for letting it happen to me. So sometimes you have to go down the roots, you know, go down it. Now,
No, I can really connect it. You know, I never thought this way. I never thought it back from the childhood or as if like something happened in past because of which is happening. But when you're actually speaking with me, I can really connect it that it's true. Like this has to do a lot from my childhood. And I do remember like many of the incidents where I fought with this. But I really recently didn't really think about all this stuff. And I just thought like it's something in the present that's making me do it. Like it's just a matter of like few years when this happened. But no, it's there right from the past.
yeah, that's when something happens and you said from your childhood, that's usually where it begins. That would be where it begins. It's not in the present. So you can handle it. You know, there's a greater power that's for you, not against you. It's for you. It's a positive thing. And so, yeah, you know, just do that writing. Then write if you want to. It's better to write it. So you're seeing it and you're double repeating it. I forgive so-and-so. And then you know when you've got to everyone and you say, I forgive because I want to be set free. And you know, you may not believe this, but you can even do the action. Like even do the action. It's like, there you go, I'm free. It's really amazing, you know, life, because we actually live in the natural and the and the spiritual. We actually do. We operate in the two, but people don't know it. I know Nixon knows it. So yeah, so you know, we can't always see with our natural eyes. But anyway, I'll let you go so you can, when you're ready, do your thing. Okay, and you can message me at any time, WhatsApp. Yeah.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you for saying that, and thank you for actually like telling me everything. I'll work this out. Thanks a lot.
Yes, you will. Thank you, Samir. And if, you know, everything, all good things are gonna, well, they're already coming your way, but you're only getting half of the portion. There's so much more for you. You're being robbed of it. So yeah, it's gonna be good. So keep in touch. And you too,
Definitely.
Nixon. I'm going now, Nixon.
Nixon, are you there?
He's asleep.
Oh
my
he's
God.
on a call.
Are you asleep?
I have a feeling he's
Hello?
on a call.
Hello?
Yes,
Can you hear me?
here.
Yeah.
I'm actually walking back home. So,
Okay.
and also my earphones are out of battery. So I was just walking back
Oh,
home.
that's good.
So I have like, yeah. See you tomorrow then. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye,
Even we are
Nixon.
done with
Bye,
everything.
I didn't
So
hear.
good night.
Yeah.
Good
Good
night.
night then. Take
Take
care. See
care.
you then.
You
You
too.
Love you
too. Bye.
all.
Take care.
Love you,
Bye.
Maria.
Love you too.
Okay.